All right, welcome to a Big Show Entertainment Network special event.
Yeah.
Super Dave Raines and the Big Show on location here in Denver, Colorado at the Regal Cinemas, United Artists, Colorado Center 9, and IMAX, right at I-25 and Colorado next to Dave & Buster's on North American premiere night for Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Senators, we believe that these titans are just the tip of the iceberg. Which of these titans are here to protect us? And which of these titans are here to threaten us?
So you'd want to make Godzilla our pet?
No. We would be his.
Second most epic movie of the year, I think.
Okay.
Second most. Second behind Endgame.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got so many movies coming at us over the next 6 weeks. Wow. I'm pretty sure this will get eclipsed somewhere in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Just the size. I'm just the scope of the movie, like the physical size of everything in this movie. I think the only thing that can eclipse that is going to be Endgame. Okay. But that's just me.
All right. Well, I can go with that. Well, I'm your man, Super Dave Raines, and I'm here with the host of Generally Nerdy, Dustin James, who is also up here for Denver Comic Con, is it? You can't Pop Culture Con. You can't say Comic Con. Excuse me, San Diego.
We don't want to get sued.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had a busy week already. We're heading into a very busy period for Super Dave Raines and the Big Show, as we have Godzilla, King of the Monsters tonight. Next week we'll be here for X-Men, yep. Dark Phoenix, and then the week after we'll be here for Men in Black International. And then the Thursday after that will be Toy Story 4. And then the Thursday after that will be Spider-Man Far From Home. So that's
quite a month. That's quite a month.
Yeah, so I think we're ready for it.
Yeah,
so I want to give a shout out to Big Show Q Branch and the director of Big Show Q Branch behind the cameras tonight, Major Chase Sexton. So that's kind of his Been After Dark name, but Chase Sexton is behind the camera tonight for Big Show Entertainment Network, Super Dave Raines and the Big Show. So I've got a few questions for you, but before we get into, well, actually, I'm going to ask that at the end.
Sure.
But let's get into Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Of course, I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this will be better than the 2014 Godzilla, although I like that movie.
I do too. I really dug that movie. I know the internet likes to hate on everything, but it's more of a spectacle movie. You're not going to learn anything about cinema when you go see a Godzilla movie. You're going to see a spectacle, and it pulled it off. It really pulled it off.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I know the major complaint was people saying, "Oh, it took so long to see Godzilla." Well, for all those folks that have that complaint, I know you're pretty young. Go back and watch I'm not a horror movie fan, but what I think is the greatest horror movie of all time, Jaws. And tell me that doesn't scare the crap out of you, and have that
on screen for something like 5 minutes total or something silly like that. So
yeah, great suspense movie. So we're going to get right into it. Godzilla 2014 was directed by Gareth Edwards. This one is directed by Michael Dougherty, and I've got a few questions, so I'm going to start right into it. How has Godzilla remained the king of the kaiju for 60 years now? Even though he didn't come first. Actually, King Kong and the Beast were before him. So how has Godzilla remained the king for this long?
I think part of it is those early Japanese movies really, really helped just because of the camp. And I think the camp was endearing. And then as nerd culture kind of started evolving from there, we got a lot of like mech style things. And Godzilla was like watching a mech movie, only more organic. And I think because he was already there, we attached to him. And King Kong has kind of been a part of that as well, but Godzilla picked up the steam, I think, because he's more protector, whereas King Kong was attacker.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Godzilla's protecting us, and I very well could be having my mythology off a little bit, but from my recollection, even back into those early kaiju, the early dude in a suit kind of movies, he's been the one. At first he was attacking, but he became the protector of Japan, and then he became the protector of Earth, and from King Ghidorah and Mothra and Mechagodzilla, and like just like the first two or three movies, I think, were the only ones he was attacker, and ever since then he's been our protector. So I think that's played a pretty big part in it as well.
Right.
I don't think the 99 movie helped him at all, though.
No, I think that was kind of a disaster. You know, a little bit, just a little bit of a disaster, but okay. Great soundtrack. All due respect to P. Diddy.
Well, just in general, that whole soundtrack. The Green Day song on there is still immortal. I'm honestly drawing a blank on the rest of the soundtrack, but I know I own that soundtrack, and that's the only thing I own from that movie. So
exactly. So yeah, we'll get into. You're right about Godzilla being protector. He was an attacker at some point. So, of all the Godzilla movies, which is the most significant? Do you think?
Significant? Ooh. I know the animes have really kept him alive because, again, the 99 movie really tarnished the Godzilla reputation. They don't even, like, so the people who own the IP of Godzilla don't recognize that as a proper Godzilla movie anymore. They just call it Zilla. They took the God part off of it. Right. So that's a Zilla movie because he's the smallest iteration of the character or of the monster, I guess. Right. So the most significant, though...
I know what I'm going to go with.
You go first. And
yeah,
give me the second.
I'm going to go with the 1954 Godzilla movie.
Is that the first appearance of Ghidorah?
You know, I'm not sure of that. I'd have to go back and check.
Because that's going to be my vote. Is the Godzilla, the first Godzilla with Ghidorah? Because I think that's when like his role as protector and like he has this rogues gallery of sorts now. That's when all of that was really cemented. Was Ghidorah. Yeah. So I think that's going to be my vote. I don't remember exactly the year it came out, but
yeah, I want to say it was 54. I could be wrong, and I know that in reading the lore, that actually King Ghidorah or King Ghidra, Monster Zero, he used to be the protector.
Used to be, right? And I don't know what switched, but something switched, and now he's no longer. Now Godzilla's our dude, and Ghidorah's trying to retake the throne of sorts.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. All right. What are your thoughts on Millie Bobby Brown in this movie?
I really don't know what to expect out of her. So I follow her on social media because she's very dynamic personality, just as a small person. So like going off of that and then juxtaposing her in real life versus the character we all know her for, which is 11. Like, so you can see she does have the acting chops. But again, Godzilla's not a movie you go to for acting chops. So I feel like she's going to have a lot to do with the emotional grounding of the movie, probably. But I don't think we're going to be moved to tears necessarily by her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Great. Don't get me wrong. She's going to be great, but I don't think she's going to move us to tears.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, and I think hopefully what I'm hearing that this movie is about, the kaiju, about Godzilla, about King Ghidorah, about Rodan, about Mothra, and whoever else we might see. Right. And that's what we wanted in the 2014 movie. Yeah, and I'm going to say, again, I like that movie, but we wanted to see more action on the, kaiju side, the big fights. I mean, that's why we watch it, honestly. So, yeah, and I would agree. I'm not sure what we're going to get from Millie Bobby Brown. I'm glad she's in the movie.
Yeah.
It's she's become really a big name, even though she's not the main character in Stranger Things. So, quite interesting. So, tell us, because a lot of people are really interested in this. Who is Monster Zero, a.k.a. Ghidorah?
I don't have an answer for that. I honestly, my recollection of those early kaiju movies is being a kid watching them when they were on like Sci-Fi or whatever, and just being in awe of the spectacle again. Like that's really what it was when I was a kid, was like, this looks so awesome, even though now you go back and watch and it's like, I can see the zipper. So as far as the lore around Ghidorah, I know they've expanded a fair amount in the older animes about him, but I'm not super familiar with his lore, aside from the fact that he was once in the protector role that Godzilla is in now.
Right, but he is not from Earth.
Right. So I don't know that, technically speaking, as far as the original lore goes, I don't know that any of them except for Godzilla are from Earth. Maybe Mothra was too.
I think Mothra and maybe Rodan.
Mechagodzilla was an alien. I feel like Rodan was as well.
I know King Ghidorah is an alien.
Ghidorah is an alien as well. But Mothra, but Godzilla's the only one I'm 100% sure is Earth-based.
Okay. Well, folks, you can leave your comments. Correct us on our YouTube channel, Big Show Entertainment Network, or on our Facebook page, Super Dave Reigns and the Big Show, or generally Nerdy. So we're going to move right along. What is Monarch?
What is Monarch?
Monarch.
Mothra?
No. Monarch is the secret organization.
They're the ones that are waking up all the kaiju. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So, shady government agency. Like, as far as this movie's concerned, all you need to know is shady government agency waking up these kaiju because reasons.
Yeah. I love that about this movie, because you've got you've got humans that are on the good side, and on the bad side. And I love that aspect about this movie, so I'm really going to enjoy that. So
I really think that what we're going to see is, and I might just be telegraphing, what we're going to see is those humans that are the bad guys are going to try and weaponize the kaiju. They're like, oh, well, I woke him up, so he's going to do what I want him to. And I'm obviously dumbing it down a little bit, but like, they're going to try and use them as weapons, and then the weapon is going to turn against them. Because we already saw that the scene with Vera Farmiga in the trailer where it looks like there's a turn. Like there's an establishing scene where she looks like hell-bent on waking up all these kaiju, and then there's another scene later in that same trailer where she is afraid and she tells Millie Bobby Brown, run. So I really feel like there's going to be, I'm weaponizing these for the good of humanity. Oh, crap.
Exactly. Kind of like Jurassic Park when you try to control the dinosaurs, and then in the end, you lose control. So, Ken Watanabe, Dr. Ishiro Shirawazi, I think that's how it is. But what do you think about Ken Watanabe?
I don't think Watanabe. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything that I didn't like him in. Like, he's always, from the things that I can recall, he's not ever been like a major player, so it'll be interesting to see him step up a little more. Again, not that he's going to be a major player in this. I think Farmiga is going to be one of our main viewpoints in the movie. Right. But Watanabe, I feel like, is going to be a bigger part of this story than he has been in many of his previous stuff. So I think that'll be really fun to see, because he's a pretty solid actor. I have no complaints about him. Yeah,
and I would agree with that. So, well, we are about 10 minutes away. We're here at the Regal Cinemas, United Artists, Colorado Center 9 and IMAX here in Denver, Colorado, for the North American premiere night of Godzilla, king of the monsters. So we're going to wrap it up here from Denver. I'm going to ask you one more question, not Godzilla related. I want to ask you about Knights of the Old Republic. I'm hearing that that's going to get made. What are your thoughts?
So, the things that we know so far about KOTOR. First is that it got the lore surrounding the game, the lore that was established in the game, got moved to legend and myth when Disney bought Lucasfilm. So we know that much. We also know that that script just got finalized. So theoretically, that is the next saga story that we're going to be seeing is Knights of the Old Republic. We also know that DB Weiss and David Benioff, the guys who did Game of Thrones, are going to be doing the next trilogy. So it makes sense that they're going to be the ones that are going to bring us Knights of the Old Republic, which means very likely their Star Wars trilogy will take place even before the prequel trilogy because it's the Old Republic, which I think is prime material for them. I'm super excited about that. Even if you think what you will about the last season of Game of Thrones, think what you will about the last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, because that'll be a whole discussion on Generally Nerdy in the near future. But
I think you have to look at their whole body.
It's still fantastic. There's still at least 6 solid seasons of Game of Thrones and 1 fairly solid season after that, and then the last season again. Think what you will, but. Though their interpretation of things that already exist, i.e. the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, is amazing. And since we already have a very deep mythology surrounding Knights of the Old Republic, they are going to be able to draw from a lot and do a lot with it. And I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I think it is too. Well, folks, that's it. We're getting ready to go see this movie. I will announce to you tonight that we are going to give away 2 FX lightsabers for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. You can enter that contest right now. All you have to do to enter is go to Big Show Entertainment Network YouTube channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell. You're automatically registered to be in the contest to win one of 2, not just 1, 2 FX lightsabers that we are going to give away. I believe, and Chase, correct me if I'm wrong, you can also like Super Dave Reigns in the Big Show and get into the contest. So is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So like it on Facebook is what you're saying?
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so you have different avenues that you can be subscribing to us and getting our stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we doing a red and a blue lightsaber?
Oh, I think we might do red or blue, or blue or red, or green. So, but hey, we may even if we have a chance, we may even let the winners decide. But I'm going to say for right now, red and green. So, and I might change my mind on that, but probably not. But we'll see. So, for Dustin James from Generally Nerdy, a part of the Big Show Entertainment Network. We're so happy to have you. For Chase Sexton, for the director of Big Show Q Branch behind the camera, I'm Super Dave Reigns. And until next time, own the love.